Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the world of pranayama, which is a yogic breathing technique that can revolutionize your well being. I have always been fascinated by the power of breath, and pranayama has been a game changer for me personally. It's helped me manage stress, boost my energy, and improve my sleep quality. We are going to cover two fundamental pranayama techniques: yogic breathing, which has diaphragmatic breathing, which is like the foundation, and alternate nostril breathing, which is a bit more advanced and offers amazing benefits for balancing your energy. So, let us understand pranayama, the essence of breathing. So, what exactly is pranayama? It is made up of two words, prana and ayama. So, now let us see what is prana. We'll go through a short story about prana. Once all the deities that reside in the body, air, fire, water, earth, ether, speech, and mind, had an argument. Each claimed that it was superior to all others, declaring, I sustain this perishable body. Prana was listening to this debate and ultimately said to them, do not delude yourself. It is I, having divided myself into five parts, who supports and sustains this body. The deities did not believe him. Prana began to withdraw from the body. Instantly, all the other deities found themselves withdrawing too. When prana again settled in the body, the deities found that they had assumed their respective places. Convinced of prana's superiority, all now paid obeisance to prana. So, this is a short story about the importance and how prana is the center of the energy of life force. We will see what is prana in more depth, or like how yogis understood what is prana. What makes any motion possible? The blink of an eye, the budding of a flower, the splitting of atoms, or the fall of a meteor. Thousands of years ago, the yogis living in the shadow of the Himalayas fathomed the inherent quality of motion in creation, and they call it prana. One may roughly translate the word prana as energy or vital force, but neither definition offers a precise equivalent of the Sanskrit term that emerged from higher states of contemplation. The word prana assumes the quality of livingness. From the yogic point of view, the entire cosmos is alive, throbbing with prana. Prana is very present in every aspect of creation. The prana within every created object gives existence and material form, whether it is a planet, an asteroid, a blade of grass, or a tree. If there was no prana, there would be no existence. If prana were withdrawn from the universe, there would be total disintegration. All beings, whether living or non living, exist due to prana. Every manifestation in creation forms part of never-ending matrix of energy particles arranged in different densities, combinations, and variations. The universal principle of prana may be in a static or dynamic state, but it is behind all existence on every plane of being from the highest to the lowest. Prana is the simplest as well as the most profound concept by the seers. A stone worshipped sincerely may have a finer quality of prana than the force of a leopard in full flight. The tangible strength that enables the movement of one's hand is prana, and the intangible force invoked through a complex fire ritual is also prana. The wind blows and river flows because of prana. Aircrafts, trains, and cars move because of prana. Laser beams and radio waves travel because of prana. Every object in creation is floating in the vast, all encompassing sea of prana and receiving everything they need to exist from it. The whole world, whatever there is, vibrates having originated from prana. The cosmic prana, also called Mahaprana, came into being at the time of creation. Thus, in order to fully understand prana, one must go back to the beginning of creation. Understanding prana, the universal prana, at the very beginning there was nothing, not even creation. What existed was all pervasive, unmanifest consciousness known as the Para Brahman. It contained within it all the qualities and components necessary for creation. The whole universe lay infinitely contracted in it as mere potency. Prana remained completely absorbed in it as if in a union of deep embrace. It was a state of perfect equilibrium and harmony. In this utter stillness, there is a movement. The Tantric and Vedic literatures state that a desire arose in that absolute principle, Ekoham Bahushyam, I am one, let me become many. The desire is the first creative impulse which results in willing. A willing of the unmanifest consciousness causes the first spandan vibration and energy issues forth. It is the first movement, the movement of becoming from being, the first manifestation of prana. The primal energy called Mahaprana is variously known as Mahashakti, Mahamaya, the cosmic or the cosmic mother. Prana was never separate from consciousness. It extended eternally as potential in consciousness, but now it assumed itself. Thus, energy and consciousness began to interact with each other. They indulged in a cosmic play. So, we can just keep on talking about the super knowledge about prana. So, when prana moves, chitta, the consciousness moves. When prana is without movement, chitta is without movement. So, prana is the greatest friend, prana is the greatest companion, one fair one. There is no closer friend in this universe than prana. So, guys, now pranayama, in practical terms, it is all about harnessing your breath to cultivate a deeper connection with your body and mind. Imagine your breath as a powerful life force energy, that is prana, that flows throughout your system. When we practice pranayama, we consciously start to regulate this energy, which can lead to incredible transformations. I remember the first time I learned about pranayama, I was skeptical at first, thinking how can something as simple as breathing have such a profound impact? But after giving it a try, I was amazed by the immediate sense of calm and focus I felt. Diaphragmatic breathing. Now let's start with diaphragmatic breathing, which is part of yogic breathing, which is often called belly breathing. This technique is the cornerstone of pranayama and is incredibly easy to learn. To demonstrate, I'll place my hand on my belly and show you how the diaphragm expands as I inhale and contracts as I exhale. You will feel a deep sense of relaxation and grounding as you practice this, and it's a great way to calm your nervous system, especially after a stressful day. So just take your right hand and place it on your stomach. As you inhale, the stomach expands. As you exhale, the stomach contracts. Not the chest. If you can observe, my chest is not moving at all. I'm not breathing like this. This is not the diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing is just your abdomen coming out and going. So, incorporating this diaphragmatic breathing, alternate nostril breathing balances the energies. Now let's move on to the alternate nostril breathing, also known as Nadi Shodhana. This technique is like balancing act of your energies, and it can help clear your mind, enhance focus, and even boost your creativity. I personally love this technique before a big presentation or when I need to clear my mind after a long day of work. It feels like a mental refresh button. We'll go through the steps together. I'll give you tips on how to maintain a steady rhythm and make sure your practice is comfortable. Take your right hand and make this shape called Chin Mudra and relax it on your left leg. Remove your spectacles and with your right hand make Vishnu Mudra. With the help of your thumb, close your right nostril and exhale completely. And then start to inhale from your left nostril, closing the right nostril. And close the left nostril, exhale from the right nostril. And then inhale from the right, keeping the left nostril closed. And close the right nostril, open the left nostril and exhale from the left. This is Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, 1 round. Let us practice 3 slow and deep rounds. Close your eyes. Relax your hands and you may gently open your eyes. You may practice up to 9 rounds for beginners, and as you advance, you can increase to 15 rounds, 20 rounds, and go up to 30 rounds. So remember, the key to unlocking the benefits of pranayama is consistent practice. Even just a few minutes each day can make a big difference. If you are interested in learning more, there are tons of great resources available online, including apps and even online courses. Start slowly and gradually increase your practice. Listen to your body and adjust the techniques as needed. You'll be amazed at the positive impact pranayama can have on your overall well being. Thank you so much for watching this video.